Hello everyone, and welcome to my character guide for Ahri and 2xAO. 2xAO is a new fighting game that everyone's talking about, and if you're one of the lucky individuals that got access to the game, or maybe you've just been watching it and you want to learn more about Ahri, you've come to the right place. I got your back. In this video, we're going to be talking about all the essentials you need to play the character. We're going to be talking about what type of character she even is and what her general game plan is going to be. We're going to talk about her important moves and how to use them. And then near the end of the video, I'll be giving you guys some basic combos and setups to help get yourself started. Now keep in mind that we're talking about just the essentials here. We're not talking about the nitty gritty with the character. I'm just giving you the things you need to be able to get in and start playing them. Ultimately, it's an alpha. There's still so much to learn about all these characters, so we're going to keep this on a need to know basis. Real quick, before we get into it though, I do want to know down in the comments below, how are you guys feeling about Ahri so far? Do you think she's fun? Do you think she's not fun? What are the things that you like and dislike about the character? Because 2xAO is a new game, I'm trying to get an idea of how people are feeling about things. So let me know down in the comments below. And of course, while you're down there, consider dropping a like and subbing to the channel as well. Likes and comments help a massive amount with the YouTube algorithm, so I'd really appreciate it. And of course, be sure to subscribe as well, because I have more 2xAO and general fighting game content that you won't want to miss out on. With that all out of the way, let's get into talking about everything you're going to need to know to play Ahri and 2xAO. So first of all, what type of character is Ahri? I would say Ahri is a pretty well-rounded character, but with a bit of a focus on air movement. She's the only character in the current roster that has a traditional air dash. She can air dash back and forward, and it's a very fast, far-reaching air dash. On top of that, she just has a lot of air special moves. She has air fireballs, she has an air dive that she can use to change her jump trajectory. She also has really technical and long combos if you want to get into that type of stuff as well. That makes her very fun to play. Now, before we get into talking about her moves and how to use them and all of that, I do want to quickly mention that I'm going to be using a lot of common fighting game terminology throughout this video. If there's anything that confuses you or you're unfamiliar with, be sure to check the FGC glossary, which I'll have linked in the description below. It's a fantastic database that covers all of the common terms that you'll hear fighting players use, so be sure to check that out. And if you have any further questions about anything, you can just ask in the comments below and I'll try to help out my best. Okay, let's get into talking about her important moves, and we're going to start off with her light normal. So we have her 5L and her 2L. 5L is going to be your fastest normal, and 2L is going to be your fastest low. Both of these normals are going to be very important because they're going to be what you're going to use when you're trying to get your opponent off of you and disrespect their offense. They're also going to be what you're going to be using on your own offense a lot. One thing about these moves is that they can be chained into themselves. You can do stuff like 5L, delay 5L, 5L, dash 5L. This is very traditional stagger pressure in these types of games. And when you have your opponent respecting you, you can go for a throw or something like that. Next up, we have her mediums. Her mediums are very good pokes for neutral. They're very fast, low recovery, pretty good reach. Her 2M specifically is a low, so keep that in mind. And the big thing about Ahri as a character is that she gets confirmed from like very far away on her normals. So having good pokes like this is especially important for a character who can convert this well from far ranges. So just keep that in mind when you're playing Ahri. Next up, we have her 5H. Her 5H is a pretty decently ranged poke. I use this a lot when I'm looking to whiff punish, so I'll like backdash and then 5H. Be careful not to throw it out too much because it does have a lot of recovery. I mostly only use it for whiff punishing, or obviously like in your pressure or something like that. Next up, we're going to have her launcher. This is going to be 3H. This is going to be your go-to B&B starter for basically everything. Any hit you get, if you're not sure what you should be doing, just try to combo into your 3H and then go into JM, JH into JS2, and that will give you a basic knockdown. This works off of basically anything you hit your opponent with. Any type of hit should combo into this. So just keep your launcher in mind. It's going to be the basic way to start and end any combo. Next up, we're going to have her 2H. Now, 2H is usually the universal anti-air in this game, and for Ahri, it is still technically an anti-air, but it has one small problem in that instead of launching the opponent, it actually just knocks them down, and this makes it not ideal for anti-airing with because you can't really combo off of it or anything. So I would say if you're trying to anti-air with Ahri or control the air in general, you're going to want to use your aired airs, so use something like jump light into jump medium, and then from there, you're going to try to combo into her jump S2 to get a basic knockdown. You can also extend the combo from there once you get more familiar with the character, but that'll at least give you a knockdown to work with. And also, she has a unique property of being able to combo off her air throw and get a little bit of extra damage out of it as well. So air to airs and specifically air throw with this character are very good, and they help make up for the fact that her 2H is a little bit lacking. Now, two air normals I want to talk about real quick because they are important to the air-based character naturally. First of all, she has a J2L, so this is jump down light while jumping. And this move is important because it does hit on both sides of the character, although it is a little bit small, as you can tell. This is important for some mix-ups that you're going to be doing with the character, and sometimes for combos, so just keep that in mind. And next I want to talk about her jump H, because this is her biggest jump normal, which is just important for moving around and throwing out hitboxes in the air. But more specifically, her jump H can be charged. So if you charge it, this actually changes the hit properties. You'll see normally they just kind of flow upwards, but if you charge it, they kind of twirl a bit. This is used in a lot of her combos, and more specifically, people are going to be doing half charge JH. You don't need to charge it the whole way to actually get the extra hits done out of it. So when you see Ahri players doing combos and you see them using jump H, they're mostly going to be doing partial charge jump H in their combos. Now we can go into talking about her special moves. We're going to have her S1. This is going to be a fireball, although it does not go full screen, so I think about it more as kind of like a poke in neutral rather than like a full screen projectile or something. However, it's not just a projectile, it's also technically a Rekka series. So if you press S1 again, she'll do this forward leaping attack. And this is really good because she can air dash cancel this and get an extended combo from it. So this is one of her big strengths as a character, is that she can get pokes in neutral and then turn those into full combos from a neutral poke, just like that. And usually a lot of characters in this game don't get full combos off of like their like max range pokes, but Ahri does, and that's a huge strength of the character. This Rekka series also has a third hit. You can press S1 a third time, and this will cause a ground bounce. This is technically worse for combos, but if you have trouble doing the air dash combo, because a lot of people do struggle with this initially, I actually just dropped it myself, it's perfectly fine to just take the third hit, go for the ground bounce, and then from the third hit, you can just combo into 5H into launcher, and then go into her JS2 like we were talking about. So keep that in mind. Next, we're going to have her down S1, and this is where she's going to put out this little spirit thing, and then after a period of time, it will launch a slightly homing projectile. It's a little bit slow, so it's not, you know, maybe as strong as you would hope it to be, but it's still pretty good. If you ever find some downtime in neutral, it's a good thing to throw out because it'll get the opponent to have to move around it. There's also potentially some setups you can do with it. It's a decent move. Next, we have Jump S1. This is going to be a horizontal air projectile. This can be pretty decent as like a far-reaching air-to-air. You know, if your opponent's kind of jumping from far away, you can air-to-air them with this. Otherwise, it's just used in some combos because you can air dash cancel it. So that's pretty good. And then she also has Jump Down S1, which is going to be a downwards fireball. This one's a bit slower, but I would say it's overall better because it just covers a better part of the screen for you. This is another way to kind of, you know, mix up what you're doing in the air. You do get your air dash back after doing it, so you can air dash again, which is nice. Between both of those fireballs, they're just kind of another way to enhance her air game. The other thing about the downwards fireball is that it can also OTG, and this can let you get extended combos from certain knockdowns and such, which you'll see a lot in some of the more advanced Ahri combos. Next, we have her S2 specials. So starting with neutral S2, this is kind of like a multi-hitting attack. One thing that is unique about this is that it can actually be canceled into her S1. So the Rekka series we were talking about, you can just cancel into it from this. This move is mostly used in pressure because you can use it as a frame trap in your offense. So I know your pressure is going to be a lot of like 5L, delay 5M, delay 5H. Those are just going to be a bunch of frame traps. And then after 5H, you can also throw out your S2. Her S2 is very, very safe on block. It's 0 on block, and it pushes you really far away. So this is a very good way to just kind of end your pressure, push yourself away. And if they get hit by it as like a frame trap, you can combo off of it very easily by just going into her S1 and getting a combo from there. So it's a good move. It's not used too often, but it has its place. Next, we have a down forward S2. This is a very weird move. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You don't really have to bother with this if you're brand new to the character. It's very slow, and the benefit to it is that it leaves you airborne, so you can go for like air dash mix-ups and such. But because it's very slow, it's kind of hard to use. So I wouldn't bother with it too much early on with playing the character. The last special move that she has that we need to talk about is going to be her dive special move. So the way this works is that on the ground, you can do it by doing forward plus S2. And in the air, you have a bunch of different directions you can do it in. And as well as on the ground, after doing the first one, you can cancel into an upwards one by doing like up forward or up back dive. Or S2 rather. So you can just change what direction you do them in by pressing a different direction and S2 again. These can be used to just kind of mix up your air game as well. Though keep in mind, they do have a fair bit of recovery to them, so I would only do this if you have like an assist to kind of cover yourself with, but it can be good to kind of mix up your air options as well and keep people guessing. They're also useful in combos because you can do stuff like this where it puts you airborne, where you can go for like air combos off of it, as well as it's going to be a kind of standard way you're going to end a lot of air combos because the down forward version, first of all, when used for the first time in a combo, it actually, you can still combo. It looks very weird, I know, but you can actually combo off of this part still, despite the fact that it looks like they're knocked down. But after you've already used your ground bounce, this technically uses a ground bounce to do it, it will knock the opponent down. So this is going to be a very common way you're going to end a lot of air combos as well. So your air combos are either being ended with JS2, which is the multi-hitting attack, or they're being ended with J3S2. The benefit of J3S2 is that it's faster, so it will knock down later in combos. So that's the main difference between that and JS2. Now we can talk about her supers real quick. We have her down S1, and this is a projectile super. It does pretty good damage, and it also can hit OTG. So if you get like a combo into a knockdown like this, you can just super at the end of it. So it's a very easy way to just kind of, you know, enter combo and get some extra damage. She also has a unique version of this super where if you hold the button down, the super will instead do a 3-sequence attack. And this can give you some very advanced high damage combos that are very cool to learn. I'm not going to go over them in this video, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew about them because they are cool and they're something to kind of strive for to learn. She also has her down S2, and this is just a forward advancing super. Also does pretty good damage, also does crazy good corner carry as you just saw. And one thing that's good about this super is that it is air okay, so you can do it at any point in an air combo. It's just an easy way to get high damage out of an air combo. If you're not sure how to get a knockdown sometimes, just comboing into this super is a good way to just stabilize something and get some good corner carry and damage at the same time. And then lastly, we have her level 2. This super is invincible, so you can use it as a reversal in your opponent's pressure if you want to. It's also technically a projectile, so it does go decently far for what it is. Actually, does it go full screen? I actually never looked. Does it go full screen? Let's find out. Okay, not full screen, but it goes pretty far for a level 2, so that's really good. Now, going over some basic combo stuff, I'm going to give you guys just a couple of things to get you started with the character. So as I was saying, always comboing into your launcher is like the basic thing you want to do, although it won't always work because you might be too far away. But usually you'll be close enough to combo into it, and then you're just going to do JM, JH, into JS2. That will work off of basically literally everything as long as you're within range for your launcher. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can throw in the S1 into air-JH, and then from there you can go into a launcher. So you can do stuff like this, and then go into JS2 for your knockdown. So it's a little bit of an extended series. But I'm going to give you guys kind of a full technical Ahri combo. And keep in mind, this character has long combos, this character has hard combos. So make sure to scale yourself up and take your time learning her combos, because they can be pretty difficult. Even for myself, who's been playing fighting games for a long time, they're pretty hard. So I'll give you guys the full technical combo now, and I'll have notations on the screen so you can learn it at your own pace. So that's going to be your technical combo with this character. This is the full bread and butter. This is very good corner carry, very good damage, and gives you a great knockdown to work with. And once you get this combo down, you'll pretty much be able to do any of the other extensions with this character, because most of the things you do with this character are present in this combo. Alright, now I also want to talk about some basic setups off of these knockdowns, because as I just mentioned, the most common knockdowns you're going to be getting are the air dive ender, or you're going to be getting the multi-hit JS2 ender as well. And from both of these knockdowns, there's a very simple setup you can do. All you have to do is, after the knockdown, do a quick backdash into JS1, and from there you can do either air dash J2L or MT2L, and it's going to be a high-low mix-up just built in for you. So it's going to look just like this. That's the low, and then the high will look like this. Just like that. So the high is J2L, JM, the low is 2L. This is just a 50-50. They have to guess on it. And this works from both of her knockdowns that you're going to be getting all the time. So make sure to practice this. It's very strong, and it is going to come up a lot because it comes up at the end of basically every combo. And real quick, I just want to reiterate on her block strings. She does not have anything like crazy advanced for her block strings for the most part, at least as far as I know currently. a lot of your block strings are just going to be delaying a lot of your gatlings or your chains to try to frame trap the opponent. And after you get pushed out, remembering that you have your S2, it pushes you to your ideal range. It leaves you very safe on block. And if it gets, if the opponent gets hit by it, it's very easy to convert off of. Her pressure isn't anything crazy. It's mostly her setups and her neutral and her conversions that are very good. And that is going to be my character guide for Ahri. I think this character is a ton of fun. Her combos are super long and very advanced, but they're very rewarding once you get them down. And once you really start figuring the character out, she feels like endless creativity. So hopefully after this guide, you guys are able to have fun with the character as well, just like I have been. And just as a reminder, I do stream over on twitch.tv, so if you're looking for someone to watch for some Ahri and Echo gameplay, reminder, I also did an Echo guide. You should go watch that if you have any interest in that. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.